to here, and in this video I'm giving you a quick update on my 10-day writing challenge. I set myself a 10-day writing challenge between the 2nd of July to today, the 13th of July. And yeah, you want to know how it went for me, you want to know what challenges I had, if at all any, you want to know what's next, make sure you watch the video that's coming up. Alright, here we go. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Press subscribe, press the big red button and the bell next to it so you can get a notification the next time I have a new video. Welcome back to everyone who's already subscribed, and here's an update video, like the title says, of my 10-day writing challenge. As you know, I'm a PhD student as well as a mother, so I'm sharing with you my experiences of juggling the PhD and parenting. I set myself a writing challenge. If you haven't seen that video, link will pop up somewhere up here and you can watch that. And yeah, like I've said already, this is an update video. I'm going to give you a breakdown of how the writing challenge went for the 10 days. I tried to make social media updates, but I only made 2 or 3 if I'm not mistaken. If you don't follow me on social media, I will indicate the link or the link to my social media account and the name in the bottom, as well as somewhere up here on the screen. Anyways, so my writing challenge was not smooth sailing. That got to just be put out there, and I have to get it out of the way. I hadn't been writing consistently for a while, for several months, so I was trying to get back in the groove, hence the writing challenge. And I think it was a good thing, because I knew I only had 10 days to do ABCD relating to the thesis. So the first 3 days were difficult. It was a challenge because I needed to get into the mood of writing. I set up my workspace, I set up my schedule, I had my to-do list there, which was quite big, quite extensive. And the first 3 days, because of all of that, trying to wrap my head around the tasks that I had set myself, trying to get into a schedule and a routine, all of that was a lot. And I found that I was trying to do too much and everything right away. On day 3, I calmed down, I took a pause, and I said, okay, what's important, what can be done, what must you do, so that I didn't feel completely useless or completely drained by the end of each day, saying, oh, I set out ABCD projects and I didn't finish them. So I agreed on doing one task at a time, or start a task, finish it, then move on to the next thing. And that worked out well. I was calmer, I was more focused. By day 4, 5, 6, and 7, I could easily see that I was already starting to tick off things from my to-do list, and that gave me a little bit more confidence. I talked about this in my last video, how I had previously lost confidence in my writing. I didn't have any self-belief in what I was doing or what I was trying to write or put on paper. But anyway, that slowly was coming back, because as I was looking at my to-do list, I was seeing items being ticked off. So this newfound courage and confidence led me to initiate organizing a meeting with my supervisor. Previously, I dreaded looking into my mailbox to find an email from my supervisor, either asking me about the progress of my work or asking me if we could have a meeting. I was terrified, because I was in my mind, or in the reality, I was like, if he asks me for a meeting, what are we going to talk about in this meeting? Anyways, I took the time, I wrote my supervisor, asked for a meeting, and we had a meeting, which I will talk about more in detail later. But anyway, so as the progress was being made and I was ticking off things, and I was like getting back my confidence, and I was seeing that my chapter has haunted me for months. You know, it had so many gaps, so many bits and pieces were missing. I could see what I needed to do. I just didn't know how to go about it. I knew I needed to add more literature to strengthen my arguments, and that, you know, both frustrated me and made me really mad, because I was like, oh, at this level I should be completing this and not having to do any more literature review. But anyways, I got to that. I got over that, and I got over my fear of writing down my ideas and putting them on paper, and I just started to do what I needed to do. Out of the 6-7 things I needed to do in this chapter, I ticked off one, I ticked off another one, and it felt good. It felt good. And as I mentioned, I initiated or I asked for a meeting with my supervisor, and that made me sit and think for a moment. What do I have done? Where is my thesis currently? Where is it? And that was a good question to ask myself, because I'm going to print out a full draft of my thesis to read through over the next couple of weeks. That's the plan for the next couple of weeks. Anyways, I want to talk quickly about some of the challenges that I faced while doing this writing challenge. I work from home, and I try to take advantage and work while my baby is at daycare. And so I come back home, and the plan is always to come back home and sit at my desk. It never happens that way. I come home, I see an untidy house, and I start to pick up toys. I start to organize what I will have for lunch and maybe later for dinner, and so on and so on. I get distracted with house chores and errands, and this is probably the biggest challenge, because it's impossible for me to sit at home and not feel the need to do these things. I need to master up some discipline and say, time X is thesis time only. Whatever else needs to be blocked out. Also, while trying to do house chores, I was also trying to look for freelance work or part-time work, so I could get a little bit of money on the side. That didn't really work out. I didn't try very hard, but I had to put that project on pause, because hunting for the jobs and writing CVs was also taking up time. So that I have to put pause on that and just focus. What else? I'm getting back my confidence for writing. I think I've mentioned this already, and this is good. You know, the little I do helps me see some progress, and I feel confident to keep on going, and I think that's what's key. If I have 3 items on the to-do list, that's 3 items for the week. If I do half of one item, I celebrate that. I celebrate every little milestone. What am I doing next? I'm going to read the printout of my thesis and just make note of whether or not it's coherent, whether there's connections from chapter 1 to chapter 8, what are the gaps, and so on and so forth. So yeah, in 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, I will give another video update on how reading the thesis has gone. I have specific things that I'm looking for. I've already written out a list of things to check, like a checklist regarding the structure and content of the thesis in terms of research questions. Is there a thread to everything? Is there coherency? What I talk about in the introduction, does it match with what's in the rest of the thesis chapters? As well as sort of shaping up what is going to be my thesis conclusion. There's also going to be a blog post with an update of or summary of what I talk about in this video, and I'm just gonna give bullet points about my plan for the next couple of weeks, and maybe I will add in a submission plan or submission schedule for my thesis. How about you? How is your thesis writing going over summer? How are you juggling parenting and dissertation work, as well as maybe a full-time job if you have it? Are you only working at the weekends? Are you only working a couple of hours during the day when your child is at daycare? How is your thesis journey going? Thank you for stopping by to listen, and if you haven't yet, if you stayed this long to listen to me ramble, you need to subscribe, like the video, and comment. Share with me your personal experience as a PhD student. So yeah, thanks again for watching. If you haven't yet, please like the video, comment, share it, and yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you.